Double underhooks now.
With so much time being spent.
Huge look from Demolished.
He's out.
What the f***?
Huge look from Demolished.
He's out.
Oh, hell no! See, the cussing is to get their attention and at the same time deny them further advances. Ask me. Well, let's try it again. Ask me the question.
Do you like ads in your video games?
Oh, hell no!
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and Electronic Arts is up to their old tricks again. Now, this might be the absolute greediest, most underhanded move that Electronic Arts has ever done. The fans, they went ballistic. The regret, it was instant. What's going on, everyone? Hope you're having a wonderful day. Of course, it's me, Jeremy. It's me, Jeremy, from the Quartering, covering Electronic Arts and their sneaky ways. EA adds, then quickly removes ads from UFC 4 after fans go ballistic. Now, in-game ads, I'm sorry to report, will be a thing consistently. Just because EA backed down now doesn't mean they're ever going to back down again in the future. This is something they've tested in the past, and they're going to continue to do so. What I thought was the interesting part of it is they waited until all the reviews were written, and then they turned it on. Oh, what a coincidence! After everyone spent $60, and we were talking about a sports game which already has ads placed everywhere, this is even more egregious. You can see IGN tweeting out the story. EA has responded to fan outcry caused by in-game ads that were appearing in UFC 4 and has removed them. You can see, this is stupid like they always say. I'm sorry about this and that. We will do better. But next year, all of it will be forgotten and EA returns and does the same thing. I recommend nobody buy from EA until real change happens. I support that. I don't really get down with UFC video games. I like old wrestling games, like NES wrestling games. But I can tell you as a Madden fan, you know, I'm done with Madden until they get their poop in a group. And here's the story. So via Kotaku, we've got a Kotaku article later today too. At some point over the last week, Electronic Arts, this is Luke Plunkett, took a game already full of ads. It's a sports game. It comes with the territory, and added more. Only this wasn't an in-world kind of deal. It was a literal commercial flashing around in the middle of a fight. I mean, you can see in this ad here, right, like, The Boys comes in there. You can see example in a GIF above, with the flashing logo appearing after a quick mid-round action replays, accompanied by matching ad placement in the middle of the octagon. Once folks noticed, a Reddit thread popped up and quickly moved to 90,000 likes and a comfortable spot on the site's front page. Reddit's collective EA bad mindset obviously contributed there, but also some genuine BS, given the fact that the previous series ads had been relegated to the menus and not in the middle of a fight. Responding to the backlash, EA's community team posted this statement. How's it go? We're so sorry. Earlier this week, the team turned on ad placements in EA Sports UFC 4 that appeared during the replay moments of gameplay. The type of advertisement inventory is not new to the franchise. So, though we've typically reserved displaying ads to specific menu titles or Octagon logo placement, it is abundantly clear from your feedback integrating ads into the replay and overlay experience is not welcome. But we're still going to put it everywhere else. This is a company that already crams their games full of microtransactions, and on top of that are now running intrusive ads on the menus, in the replays, during your game. Absolutely 100% unacceptable. Now, let me tell you, I would honestly be okay with this existing if the game was free or at a reduced price. This is what I thought Google Stadia was going to be. I thought Google Stadia was going to be a way to get the game for free and you have to play it with ads. That's what I thought it would be. The advertisements have been disabled by the team, and we apologize for any disruption in gameplay that players may have experienced. They're going to turn it back on later, I assure you. We realize that this should have been communicated with the players ahead of time, and that's on us. Oh, so you should have just told us. We should have just told you we were cramming this down your throat, whether you wanted it or not. The backlash is because we didn't tell you, not because the idea of an ad flopping on mid-screen while I'm trying to play your game is bad. We want to make sure our players have the best possible experience playing EA Sports UFC 4. No, you don't. So the integration in the replay and overlay experience will not be reappearing in the future. Thank you for your continued feedback on EA Sports UFC 4. Now, make no mistake about it. This was a test. Not of the emergency broadcast system, but of the overwhelming greed system. If players had tolerated this, they would have left it in forever. They're always going to be testing new spots to try and monetize you. And again, this type of thing is more acceptable if you had perhaps offered a discounted version of the game that featured ads. I would even be inclined to take it. If a game, let's say that I only sort of wanted, but I could get for 50% off to have a stupid ad pop up every once in a while, I'd probably take that opportunity. Or at least I'd understand someone that would. They go on to say, so they're gone and they're not coming back. While we're on the subject, and because I'm in the middle of reviewing 2K21, this is a good time to remind you that the NBA 2K series has been running lengthy, mid-game, and unskippable Gatorade commercials for years now. And they are 10 times worse than this. And this is obviously the biggest fear I have with the NFL license that 2K got. Everyone thinks 2K, like, you know, it's going to push Madden. I think in some ways it will, because at least there's an option for people. But ultimately, you have the same problem inside of all of NBA 2Ks. They have their My Career Pack, which is designed to take advantage of people who are addicted to gambling. And that's not enough. You have... Here's the video. Here's the video, right? There's Gatorade right there on the... Gatorade! I mean, you don't think that they're charging for this? Of course they are. You see here. All this before I've even gotten into the game's overt use of advertising and sponsorship, which I know isn't directly related to microtransactions, but is related to the overall sensation. This game is gross to be around. There is advertising across all sports games. It's an inescapable part of the experience, if only because actual sports these games are simulating are full of ads. But 2K goes way beyond anything EA does in FIFA and Madden, from its sponsored stores to the way brands are so integrated into the single-player My Career experience. I've talked some junk about mobile games, but at least they'd reward me for having to sit through an ad. I just don't get it. There's plenty of other sports games on the market, some of them even outselling 2K, and they're nowhere near as abrasive and offensive with their thirst for cash. FIFA and Madden make millions on digital card sales, but have quarantined that behind a game mode that anyone wanting to play single player will never have to see. And so with FIFA, despite the series' own problems, I still find myself looking forward to it each season. Eager to see if the ball physics have been made more realistic, if player animation had become smoother, if crowds have become livelier. And because it's almost entirely devoid of microtransaction panhandling, I'm really looking forward to the conclusion of FIFA's excellent single-player story arc this year. But with 2K, instead of approaching a new entry of a series with optimism, I now find myself dreading each new season, wondering what fresh new commercial hell I'm going to have to be subjected to just to play some games of basketball. And that's exactly the case with UFC. This apology, make no mistake about it, is not I'm sorry. It's I'm sorry we got caught. I'm sorry we tried to slip this past you and you didn't like it. You see, EA decided to add full-on commercials in the middle of gameplay in a $60 game a month after its release, so it wasn't talked about in the reviews. That's exactly correct. That's exactly why they did it, and they only disabled it because of massive fan outcry. And unfortunately, I suspect in the future people will push back less and less against this, and it's going to become more and more of the norm. Buy Retro, friends. Those games are complete. You don't need the internet to play them, and there's no ads. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.